Call the meeting to order. Please stand for the pledge. I
pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Roll call, Trish.
Mrs. Brew?
Here.
Mr. Kramer?
Here.
Mr. Menegini?
Here.
Mr. Marraro?
Here.
Mr. Pop?
Here.
We'll move on to the approval of the agenda. Do I have a motion on the agenda?
That we approve the agenda. Or
Mr. Kramer?
yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop? Yes. Mrs. Brew?
Yes. Move on to the approval of the minutes of the regular meeting, October 4th, 2021, and closed session on 10/4/2021.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes. Support.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop? Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Approval of manifest 2021-17. Scott, do you have any questions?
I have none.
Jeff?
None, Madam Mayor.
Rico?
None.
I had one. Under electric pole saw kit. What is that?
It's a extended pole saw we purchased for trimming lines, particularly service lines. It's a bad all-in-one.
Do I have a motion on the manifest 2021-17?
I move we approve manifest 2021-17, the amount of $525,060.75.
Mr. Pop? Yes. Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Marraro?
Yes. No questions from last week.
Anyone in attendance wishing to address the council on an agenda item only shall do so now at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person. We have none. We'll move on to a public hearing. Ordinance 447, amendment ordinance number 337, firearms ordinance. Mr. Anderson.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. As we went through the readings, we basically are updating the 1995 firearms ordinance, and it's the map that we're updating because there are areas from since 1995 that have been developed. Notably, we have now our Mirror Park and areas along the highway south of US 2. The church property. We also have the areas up by where in 1997, completion of the tank, the low pressure city tank, and then there's houses built up along that area. Also, they did not include those houses up along Perney Lane that they're all R1, that R1 district. So what we did was we included those in the map area.
We'll move on to ordinance 447, amendment 337, firearm ordinance. Is there any questions? If not, do I have a motion?
Go in and out of public hearing.
That was the, oh, I'm sorry. I did not do that.
So, yeah, so we did ask for a public hearing for this evening to hear any concerns over that. So we should go into it.
I need a motion to go back into regular session.
Support.
All right, ordinance 447, amendment.
We never went into the
We never went into public hearing.
All right.
Motion, we go into public hearing.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Mararo.
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
So basically the same, we went through and we have a map revision, so I guess we entertain any comments regarding, the revising the map to reflect the new areas that we're developing to.
Has there been any comment from the people that have been affected in these new zones? Seriously?
No. The thing is that all these zones are not allowed in the DNR rules anyway. You're within 200 feet of the structure, or 150 feet of the structure. So I mean, you couldn't do it anyway.
And this is just firearms, correct?
Firearms is considered any projectile, so it does include archery.
I need a motion to go back into regular session.
Motion, we go back into regular session.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Mararo.
Yes.
Mr. Pop. Yes. Mrs. Brew.
Yes. Sorry about that, guys. Ordinance 447, amendment ordinance 337, which we just talked about. Do I have a motion?
I move that ordinance number 447 be approved and that the staff publish as per charter requirements.
Do we need the amend ordinance 337 with that, Grant, to amend ordinance 337?
No, 447 will just basically.
Replace it? Support.
Mr. Menegini,
Yes.
Mr. Mararo.
Yes.
Mr. Pop. Yes. Mrs. Brew.
Yes.
Mr. Kramer.
Yes.
Move on to Sturgeon Falls Hydro Headgate replacement. We've had this on the agenda. It's been tabled. Is there any more questions for Mr. Hagee on this?
I'd like an update from Mr. Hagee, Madam Mayor, on what he found out as far as, he's more comfortable with, with the bids, with the story of warranty. I think we asked about warranty, Scott.
Yep, warranties are in the packet, so HCMS is a 1 year, FMR is a 5 year. So FMR is slightly better. I would like to point out that the last
Slightly
meeting,
better.
I made a comment about the 2.5%. I couldn't verify that. It is in the packet, it was accurate. So in regards to FMR, if the prices do fluctuate more than 2.5%, then it'll be a change order.
So anything over a 2.5% raise in the, steel or whatever.
They want to pass it on. They're gonna want. That's understandable.
But that was not in HCMS.
So HCMS is purchasing all the materials up front, they're gonna sit on it for 4 years to keep our price the same.
Where was the, I couldn't find it in my packet, I seen HCMS's warranty, but I didn't find the one.
Okay, so.
It was in the
That
site
was,
packet.
yeah, it was, yeah.
And just to be clear, HCMS has given us a 1-year warranty.
But that's, the seal manufacturer has no warranty. I mean, and they're both using the same seal, so it's the same with both. So that's kind of the thing that I don't even worry about anything. I wish we would have gotten a warranty on the seals. If anything, that's the only thing that on the gates that are flexible, in which case I would think that'd be the most valuable point. So it's disappointing that they didn't include the warranty with what you get.
Yeah,
That's not on the manufacturing end. That's on that seal company.
That's still covered. And it's proprietary. This is spelled out on the print. They're like the only ones that make the seal for these applications.
so we have 0 warranty on the seal.
Correct, yeah.
And again, for clarity, HCMS has given us a 1-year material and workmanship warranty on the metal gates themselves.
ACMS will warranty the aluminum materials and workmanship, including all weldments for 1 year.
And FMR is doing the same, but it's going to be for 5 years.
FMR always has a workmanship warranty that is 5 years. We do not warranty materials.
So they're giving us no warranty on the materials.
What about HCMS?
They're warranting the materials, not the seals.
For 1 year. So you're getting a 1 year, all inclusive from HCMS minus the seals. You're getting a 5-year workmanship from FMR minus the materials and the seals.
And FMR is a little more.
FMR's $2,464 more. 2,300. Yeah, it is 3,464.
And they all got the same material list because we had it engineered, right?
Yep.
And they were told how to make them.
Correct, and that's included in the packet, the engineering schematics in there.
Yeah.
This is over the course of a 4-year craft project. So if it's the first one, I'm gonna warranty that for a year, moving on to the next one.
Yeah,
When
when
that
first,
one's done, it's warranted for a year.
first year, we're gonna do 6 8s.
Okay.
And then 9.
Yeah.
the last part of it. Okay.
I'm not concerned about the material. It's apples to apples.
I'm not sure about price.
I think your failures are the workmanship personally, but that's me.
I think if you have failure in the material,
Before the work.
it's probably gonna be some kind of structural failure, not gonna be a corrosion failure, which means that, that would be probably on Mead and Hunt, the design engineer. Then if something happened in the design, maybe the thickness or the type of material wasn't appropriate.
Yeah, if it was a material failure, that to me would go back on the engineering, not the
Exactly.
manufacturer.
If your welds fail,
That's-
then you got workmanship. And typically when you design structural like that, you design it so that your failure, like if you do have failures in your connection, you don't want your material, intermediate material to fail. You want because that's the most homogeneous, that's the thing that you can control.
Well, the nice thing is we're putting in 6, so if there is something, they'll be in for a year. It's 2.5%, so that bid could still go up too.
Scott, what is your quality control mechanism for certifying the welds or for inspecting the welds?
Most companies are going, can and will provide the welder certificate, they've been certified. As far as any kind of NPI, that was included in the scope of this. So that kind of change right there. Something we can do. Part of our hydro inspections is learning how to high penetrant test. So if we got a kit, we can do so.
But you're not looking at 100% weld, you're looking at just cracks in the
It's
in the
stitch
surface.
welded, yeah.
It's
It's
stitch
not, the whole thing is welded, it's stitch welded.
Yeah.
These things have, I mean, I don't know if you look at the print, they're built. There's a lot of work that goes into these. And I went back and forth with the engineer to see if there's any way to simplify these. Well, not with the pressure that's going to be exerted on them. It is what it is. This is what it has to be.
And I assume that in the design that Mead and Hunt provided, they provided a weld design as well.
Correct.
So they
broke everything up, right down to the fastener, what fastener to use, what materials, everything.
Unfortunately, I'm concerned about the 2.5% as well. I think that as we see, I don't see prices coming down much. I think inflation is going to keep driving it up. If you're talking, so let's say best case it's 3%. 3% of this yearly it's 15 grand a year. Or I'm sorry, 15 grand for the project, so it could go up, you know, that's best case, right? If it's just barely gets above the 2.5. And as, I just wanna go on record, obviously I've been pushing hard for the local guys to get this, but I am concerned that, you know, we could be looking at, you know, large, I guess is a relative term, change orders. I love the 5-year warranty though, I know that on a workmanship. Cause I agree, I think the failure will be there, I think it'll be in the weld and fabrication piece, not the material piece. Because we're protected there, Scott, you know, we're protected against you know, the specs. So I guess to me, it's a kind of a coin flip.
Any other questions? If not, do I have a motion?
I recommend that FMR from Norway, Michigan be approved for the manufacturing and delivery of sturdy fall head gates for a total price not to exceed $784,060. The project will be formed over a course of a 4-year period.
Support.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mr. Pop? Mrs. Brew?
No.
Mr. Kramer?
No.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr.
On the record, I'm worried about the 2.5%.
On the record, I'm worried about the 1-year warranty.
Make a recommendation.
Do I have a recommendation or do I have a motion?
I make a motion that HCMS Thompson be approved to perform the manufacturing delivery of the Sturgeon Falls head gates for a total price not to exceed $509,320. This project will be performed over a 4-year period.
Mr. Pop? Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
No.
Mr. Mararo?
No.
Move on to approval, police department squad purchase.
Thank you, Madam Mayor. We have gone through this in a previous meeting. We had public hearing on a new squad purchase through the rural development program. We do have a grant from rural development for the vehicle. And Chief Schaefer's here tonight. We'll give you insight into the process, but it's basically similar to what we've done in the past. Again, we are purchasing the vehicle through the My Deal purchasing program, and the total for the vehicle and the communication, or the vehicle and all the equipment, is $40,696.68. We have a local share of $21,000, and we have $22,000 included in the budget for the grant. So. Jim, do you have anything you want to add to?
We actually secured $23,200
Okay.
over, and we only allowed for 22,000. We actually received 23,200. So we, $3,200, $1,200 more. And the process for rural development went rather quickly this year. We weren't expecting to see or hear till January, and then see allocation of funds probably till May. It's all, we got it through the system and in a month.
So how this program works, the local share is spent first, and then the grant money is spent second. So we have a total of $43,000 in the program, and when we've went through the program in the past, what we've done is, we buy an extra set of tires. We do some additional purchases because basically by that point, it's all grant money. So if we don't expend up to that point, then we're just giving grant money back. So we try to purchase something that we'll need in the future.
I just read that, rubber prices and scarcity are gonna be one of the next things that go crazy.
They're probably on a boat outside of LA.
It's an expensive cup holder, Jim. It's an expensive cup holder.
I missed that, where do you?
I know, but yeah.
That is how the program operates, and so, I mean, working with their program, we try to find accessories, equipment that are needed, for the vehicle.
If there's no other questions, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that the purchase of a 2021-22 Dodge Charger be approved for purchase through the Michigan Deal Program with necessary additional equipment for a price not to exceed $43,000.
Support.
Mrs. Brew,
Yes.
Mr. Kramer,
Yes.
Mr. Menini,
Yes.
Mr. Mararo,
Yes.
Mr. Pop.
Approval of Mergel Drinking Water Assessment Grant Assistance. Mr. Anderson.
All right, thank you, Madam Mayor. If you remember back, like December, with the lead copper issue that we've had in the state of Michigan, it's actually generated out of Flint, Michigan. There was a lot of regulation that came down the pike that affected even small utilities like Norway. And we've been engaged with the department, with the state, with Eagle over these issues. They did come out in the fall and in December with the grant program for grant assistance for asset management. And basically what it is locating and identifying material types for our service line. So GEI, if you remember, was contracted back in 2018 to handle our asset management program, the AMP program that was required as part of this effort by the state to have us review our system. And a component of the grant program is in the distribution system material inventory. And so GEI put together the grant application for us, and we just received notice a few weeks ago that we were awarded the grant for $370,000. Now we have to work on some details within the grant agreement language and in the scope. So the numbers might shift a little bit. The total or the maximum will be 370. There are some components they're concerned about, but one is just an idea is we purchased the backhoe and we move forward. Now it's through an RD grant, $50,000. Well, Eagle, we just got confirmed that they are willing to pay 25% of the total price of that backhoe because we are going to use that towards the water department and the inventory. So, and they weren't concerned that we already purchased the equipment. So that's one of the positives. There are a couple things they had some questions on. We did put in meter installations, that was a capital work, but we also have meter inspections that will be covered. So we're going to be working through the details. Hopefully we'll be able to recover most of the cost. So as saying that, GEI is part of the program. They have an engineering cost to handle the grant for us, and some of the GPS work and GIS work that's going to be necessary, and that cost is $65,500. This is a 100% grant program. So since they put all this together and did all the work for us, we're requesting council approval to move forward with GEI to handle the grant administration and engineering for this grant.
Any questions? Not, do I have a motion?
I make a motion that GEI consultants be approved to perform the water system assessment management plan and distribution system materials inventory for price not to exceed $65,500.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menachini?
Yes.
Mr. Moraro?
Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
I'd like to say thank you for doing that for us.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. Thank you.
Great. Move on to approval, city hall cleaning bids.
Hey, Trish, you wanna take this one?
Camera shy, right?
Sorry.
Camera shy.
You got the big animal.
I got a big NO. No, we've been working on this for about a month or so. Something that came up this past year is, from 2000 and, I gotta look at the date here. It was about 2015 or 16, 2015. We had contracted out cleaning services at City Hall. And then at that time, we thought, you know what, we wanted to try to bring it in-house. And so we had some of our part-time employees handle the cleaning. Since that time, the employees have become full-time employees, and we were advised, especially when looking at, now that they're full-time, that they were not able to expend the hours unless it was during work hours, during their 40-hour week. So we decided to go back out and advertise, and we did an opening on those quotes for the cleaning service, and we have them there for you tonight. So Sparkle Cleaning is got the low responsive quote for $7,800. It's actually $7,800 per year, $650 per month. It is over our budget. However, we do have some special cleaning costs that like $3,000 for special cleaning, which we can add to our budget amount to bring this under that. And then this spring, we'll take a look at our special cleaning and probably maybe do a smaller project to keep it under budget.
We don't have to sign a year contract.
I don't think the contract's based on an annual basis. I think it's just kind of just runs, and then we can evaluate it. What I've done in the past is typically they have a price hold for a period of time in their agreement, and then if they raise the price, we go out for additional bid.
Well, and I was just wondering if we end up having to hire a part-time in the office.
Yeah, I mean, we could review this again down the road if the person is interested in doing it. The staff we had, they were interested in doing this. It all depends. It's probably not part of their job description unless when we do that, put it as their job description.
I did call around to other municipalities to see what they do. To have janitor employee. And a few currently different companies want to ask that how much they charge, all of that. We reached out to the reserves they need to get bids.
Is anybody else surprised that this place needs to be cleaned 3 times a week? I know we cut it back to 2.
Yeah, we cut it back to 2. It only needs 2.
I mean, we don't make anything here. We don't really get it dirty. I mean, you get some stuff out there. I mean, seriously, how dirty does this place get as an office building?
The basement bathrooms.
Yeah.
The bathrooms? So we
Bathrooms.
can't take like somebody like one of our part-timers and have them come in.
We don't have part-time.
All summer, you're talking in the summer we do, but this is after summer hours?
Yeah, because we hold there's at least one meeting a week downstairs.
And plus dusting and vacuuming, that
Yeah,
all
it
has
does.
to be done.
Yeah.
That's why we cut it back to 2 times a week. Cleaning the floors, coming in and out of the front. I mean, yeah, it gets pretty grungy.
Especially in the winter.
It's not unusual. I mean, checking out the other municipalities.
We should make
I'll pick them
note.
up. I've been locked out here for 15 minutes.
Our police department does.
Any other
Police department
questions?
does their own.
Yes, we clean our own.
You clean your own?
We clean our own.
Oh. Imagine that.
Yeah, you gotta get fingerprinted.
And it's,
I don't have a key. I can't even get in there.
we're agency now,
Yeah,
and
we
we are
keep
required
Homeland
to have certain things in place. And it is easier for us to clean it than to go through the process of vetting someone to allow them to be on that side without officers standing right here.
Who cleans the fire department? How many times a week? Once a month?
Ours is cleaned 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
You guys are filthy, that's why.
Monday, Wednesday, Friday.
Do I have a motion?
I make a motion that Sparkle Cleaning and Maintenance be approved to perform City Hall cleaning services for a price not to exceed $650 per month.
Support.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Mr. Mararo?
Sure. Yes.
Mr. Pop?
Yes.
Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Anyone in the audience wishing to address the council on any item of interest shall do so now at the podium. State your name and address for the record. Comments shall be limited to 3 minutes per person.
Evening.
Hello.
My name is Jean Bradford. I live at 2465 Travis Farm Road here in the city. I have lived there, returned to the area in 2002. So I've been there like 18 or 19 years almost. Are you aware of Travis Farm Road? Do you know where it's located? Do you know anything about it?
I know where it's located.
Where is it located?
Down the Pine Creek Road.
And is it paved or gravel?
It is gravel.
That is the situation. Travis Farm Road is approximately 1 mile in length. It has been totally neglected. At one time, the farm, my mother and father, my heritage, the only building on Travis Farm Road was the Travis Farm. Since that time, other people have moved to the area. I think there's approximately 10 houses off of Travis Farm Road. To get to the Travis Farm Road, which I would like you all to take a ride one day when you have time to see what a mess it is. You exit Lower Pine Creek, 16th Street to Lower Pine Creek, past Pollard's Dairy. Once you pass the former dairy, which is now Chuck Harper's, you turn left, the first street you get to. One way is Grunewald Road, the other is Travis Farm Road. Grunewald Road is a flat road. Travis Farm Road runs north and south, as Grunewald's does. Flat, downhill, abandoned railroad track, a replaced bridge by the Conservation Department in some super watershed, because at one time Waterworks Creek was flooding. And then it's up the hill. And because it's gravel, the hills, the water is going to run down the hill. Originally, when Mom and Dad had that, the road had natural drainage, natural ditching. The road was made out of iron ore, very sturdy. How is it maintained? You come with your grader, you grade all the rocks, tear up all the road, and then you make a bank on the side of the road. Okay, then you go home and then the road is smooth for a while. Pretty soon the water comes down the road, you come back and grade. And it's a repeated and repeated and repeated over the years, including use of the snowplow. What does that do? It takes the crown of the road, and now the road is lower than the banks. What do the city comes when I complain enough, they will come and put some gravel on the road. The gravel, loose gravel, not compacted, dump the dump truck, go down the road with it, just filling in where the water is washed away. And the next rain, the load of gravel is off to the side. And this road, I don't know if the city council members, if you are part of deciding what road gets paved, but the road is totally destroyed as far as I'm concerned. The last episode, they came out.
Just 1 minute, Jean.
What?
She's past her 3 minutes. Do you want to request for more time from the council to talk? You can.
I would like to request more time from the council, and I'll wrap it up.
Is that
I'd like an
okay?
answer.
Yep.
Okay, all right. Go ahead, Jean. I just have to do that. Go ahead.
Well, I would like an answer. You know, for 18 years, I've been complaining about this. And this last time that I went into Mr. Ball's office, and he came out and he looked at it, he agrees totally with me. It is a major problem. It is going to be a major cost. At the very beginning, when you exit Lower Pine Creek Road and you go on to Travis Farm Road, the powers that be, I have no idea who, put all this patchwork blacktop. I guess they call it poor man's blacktop. Patch here, patch there, patch there. Summertime help comes, they patch it some more. They do not maintain the side, the edging or cutting. They can cut Norway Spring 10 times to what if they even cut on Travis Farm Road. It's just totally neglected. And I think because Grunewald Road is level, they probably don't have that situation with the water drainage. But the water drains enough to the point that the soil conservation, Waterworks Creek was flooding into Mr. and Mrs. Johnson's area. They came and they put a bridge in. The bridge is a platform bridge. The bridge should be not a platform bridge with a wood surface running this way versus the same way as the road. There's a pothole always at that bridge. I called the soil conservation. They said it's entirely the responsibility of Norway. So it's like, pass the buck, pass the buck, pass the buck. So I don't know what your budget is, but I feel that I'm here to get an answer.
All I can say for tonight is we can look into it. We have a budget set for the year. And I don't know does that come under rural?
Yeah, that would be a local.
That is a local road?
Yeah, that would be.
Well, the way to correct it, which Dave and I talked about originally, is to bring that bank that's been established, bring that back to the crown of the road so the natural ditch would work. Now the ditch is just what they did this last time. They came with their big machines, their big loader, took and cut in areas for the water to run off. Cut in areas, and now the dirt, the rocks running onto my property.
So, just a question, if you don't mind.
Sure, go ahead.
So you're looking for the bank to be taken down and the crown to be put back on the road?
Well,
That's is that
made
what?
more sense to me.
Yeah, that's what you're suggesting though, or asking for? just so I'm clear on that. You wanna
Yeah.
get rid of you wanna get rid of the edges of the road and bring the crown back to the center.
So the water
Yes.
stays off the road, because it gets to the point in the springtime, the road is like half a road, one car. And that bridge that they put in is absolutely ridiculous.
Okay.
It's a one-way bridge.
Mhm.
I don't know what the city of Norway is gonna do with it.
Thank you.
And as far as paving, of course, that costs a lot of money. So,
I realize that.
you know, we would have to budget for that. Or when we see what kind of funds that we get.
There's 10
Well, it seems strange that you can pave Kimberly Road twice. You can pave, out Kearney Lane, and I agree that money is tight. I've had no service.
I can promise I'll take a ride out there and have a look for myself.
I would like you to, and you can stop in at my house if you want. I'll walk you around everything.
Appreciate that.
And it does need attention.
Thank you, Jean.
Thank you.
Anybody else? We'll move on to mayor council comments. Scott?
Again, thank the Lake Pepper and Grant for everything that you've done this past weekend. A lot of applause out of that. You guys have did a lot.
More or less liaison question from the museum committee. They've brought it up a couple times, and I've tried to figure out some different avenues for them. One thing, they were closed for almost a year and some months, and their bills did not stop coming. So they have a large gap where they could not take in any money or anything else. I was just curious if there was, Mr. Anderson, if he knew of any, or could try to find some ways to try and fill that void or fill that gap of lost income that they had. Other than that, that's all I have.
Jeff?
Yeah, echo Scott, Grant, all the volunteers this past weekend, all the participants, all the businesses that supported it, obviously, great job. I look forward to doing more, both personally and hopefully from a council standpoint, to help that grow and support the bike race and that weekend that took place. I am disappointed that we cannot find a way to bring what I consider a sizable project to a local business. Understanding that it was a very tough vote, 100-foot type vote. And that said, I'm kind of taken back here. I've been here a couple of years now, and this is a $500,000 bid. And I don't understand how a municipality that puts out a bid that's ends up being $500,000 doesn't have a sealed bid or timestamped process. Just blows my mind. Blows my mind. Because I've done that. I did a lot of this back in the day.
I brought that up.
Yeah. I know one thing personally. I won't be voting on yes on anything of this magnitude again that doesn't come in through what I believe is proper channels, which is sealed and opened as needed. Now, I'm not talking that we're talking $5,000 here, but you're talking $500,000 taxpayer money. That's all.
All right. I'd like to thank all the people who worked on Leif Erikson Day. I know the volunteers are getting tired, and they still put on a nice Leif Erikson Day, and I appreciate all the work that went into it. The bike race, unfortunately, I didn't get to go down to it, but I did go through town, and there was a lot of people around, and without the volunteers out there working on these trails, I mean, so much appreciation from the city for them. I heard so many good comments, how beautiful our trails were, and I just want people to know that, you know, these are volunteers out there making these trails and bringing people to town, and I think the city appreciates it, and I appreciate it. And then my last thing is, I wanna congratulate Ray. Some people don't know, but he, got the Lifetime Achievement Award from the MMEA. And, I think that's great. That's a huge achievement. He's been on there for how many years?
12, 14, 14.
And weren't you a representative too?
Yeah, I've actually been a representative for 16, 17 years.
Yeah, and I got the pleasure to go out to Washington and be with Ray, and he taught me a lot out there in the MMEA and WPPI. But the shining light is on Ray, and I want to congratulate him. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you, and congratulations.
Thanks, Ray.
And congratulations to our Norway football team. They got a win the other night. That's all right.
And congratulations to our junior team.
Yes.
They won the counties.
Yes.
Yep.
Ray, did you have anything?
No, just thank you to the volunteers for a number of different events that have gone on all the way through the summer. We can't survive without the volunteers. So there's always room for more, and a lot of good activities that go on in town. I think we all enjoy it. So me personally, thank you.
Grant?
Nothing, thank you, Madam Mayor.
Lisa, Trish? Do I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion we adjourn.
Mr. Mararo?
Yes.
Mr. Pop? Yes. Mrs. Brew?
Yes.
Mr. Kramer?
Yes.
Mr. Menegini?
Yes.
Meeting adjourned.
Scott, you got a minute?